What's good, everyone? Peace and good day. I need to make sure my headphones are working, that they're on. It looks like they're working. I hope that everyone is well. It's my wish that everyone is well and doing good. Peace, peace, peace. My name is Remedy. I am a music recording and music performing and recording artist. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all today. Come on, jump on in here. Let me know where you are coming live from or where you're joining us live from. What part of the world are you viewing this live from? Today we're going to be talking about the independent artist starter checklist. I'm going to make sure that I go over the things that I think is important for every artist to know before taking music seriously, or even if you have already started deciding after doing music for so long that you want to go ahead and take it seriously. I want you to go ahead and join this chat, join this live. This is the place for you to be. This is for those music artists, singers, songwriters, those interested in pursuing a career in music, who have been pursuing a career in music but have not been doing it the right way. We want to get these things done the right way so that our music can actually provide a sustainable life for us. But in order for it to do that, we got to have certain things in place, right? That's very important. Let me know where you're coming live from. I appreciate that so much. I'm happy to know that you are here. We're going to get into those 10 things every artist needs to know before taking music seriously, guys. It is my wish that you're well. I'm telling you, it's so funny. I tried to get in here on time, but my computer browser decided that even though I clicked allow for the StreamYard to access the video and to access the audio, it still told me that no, I couldn't get in. I could get in, but I have to do it without the video and without the audio. Okay, and then what was I going to do with that? It's very interesting. If there is a such thing as an adversary, I tell you what, or if this is just me, my energy reflecting back, getting me to become a lot more disciplined, getting me to become a lot more organized. You know what I'm saying? I pride myself to be an organized person, but when you have so many things going on, sometimes it can overwhelm you, where you just take things for granted. You take things for granted, but life has a way of giving you what you ask for. So you got to be careful what you ask for, because when you ask for the level up is real, and life will push you into becoming that new version that you are asking to become. So we are going to go ahead and get into this independent artist starter checklist. 10 things every artist needs to know before taking music seriously, okay? Peace, peace, peace. Good day. If you are just hopping on, drop your name and where you're tuning in from. I'm glad that you're here today, because this live is for every artist who is serious or ready to get serious about their music career. I'm giving away something completely free today, the independent artist starter checklist. The 10 things every artist need to know, should know before taking music seriously, or if you're deciding that you are taking this serious and you just got to figure out what you need to do, this is a conversation for you. We're going to go through all 10 things right here, right now, all the good stuff, all the realness, none of the BS, and we're going to get straight to it, okay? I want you to stay to the end, because I also have something that I'm going to be giving to just a few people today, all right? And what I offer today, hey, it may not get repeated again, so stay on. Let's get to it. Let's see who I got in the building. Thank you guys for making sure that you're here and tuning in. I was telling my management team yesterday, man, lately my words seem to be fighting each other, and it's hard to get everything out that I want to say. You know what I'm saying? I actually want to see if I could, I'm not sure if I could go, darn it. I'll do that. Let me see if I could. I'll come back to that. All right. So let me get into the material for today. All right. So it's really important that our artists know what is important for them to know, right? It's important that they have certain things in place or have an understanding of what is necessary. This matters because most artists oftentimes do this whole thing wrong. A lot of us, we're starving artists, and we just want visibility, and we want exposure and this and that, and or we want to just do this music, and we feel like, because of the fact that somehow in your mind you have the programming that you cannot make a sustainable living from your music, you end up going and getting nothing. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying anything is wrong with getting a job, but you're doing it because you have no plan, you have no infrastructure, you have no understanding of how the business aspect of music work. You know that you're an artist, but you fail to know that you are an artist that is running a business, and as an artist you are a business. You're in the business of making music. You're in the business of using your music to make an impact, right? So there are things that as an artist we want to make sure that we know, so that we can be sure to do this. I've been making music forever. I've been doing this since I came here. I've been singing since I came here, but I didn't always understand that my artistry, yes, I'm a great artist. I am a singer to the point of no return. I can sing my butt off. I can probably out sing so many people, right? But at the end of the day, my talent is not enough. That is in no way, shape, or form enough, you would think it would be, right? You would think that would be all you require, but there are other things that are necessary, So after, just doing all these things, I ended up going to teach, navigating teaching as a full-time teacher, sometimes as a substitute teacher, doing these things so that I could sustain myself, because I had no idea how to sustain myself, or just really like the whole understanding, or I had some nitpicks of it, or nitbits, whatever one you want to call it. And I got information from different people, but I just didn't even apply the information. All right, so let me go ahead and give you that 10 item breakdown. So the first thing you want to be able to do is you want to define your artist identity. Okay, and to me, your artist identity is yourself, but most artists start releasing music before they even know who they are, right? And sometimes they release music by allowing other, like, let's say you're working with a record label, or you're working with a producer and or a record label and a producer, or A&R, etc., and you are having them create this identity for you, which is cool. But you got to realize, outside of that, you yourself, you're actually a human being, right? And you can do that if you want, and become something that you're not. But eventually you will have an identity crisis, and you may fall into like a depression and have to shed that identity, because it's not you, and you have to completely revamp yourself in the first place, because you were portraying yourself as something that you actually weren't. Okay, so your identity is your brand, it's your vibe, it's your message, it's what attracts the right fans, right? So what do you stand for? Who are you speaking to? And what feeling do you want to leave people after they hear your music, after they interact with you, after they experience your presence, after they experience your music? What is it that you want to leave people with? Let me tell you something. One of the things I know for sure, your people can only find you when you are being yourself. Okay? Now, does that mean that you can, does it mean that the opposite of, like, okay, let's say you do become this artist identity that you have created that is not necessarily you, and does that mean that you will not get an audience and all that? No, it doesn't mean that, but it just means that the audience you get will be those who are attracted to that identity, and that identity may not necessarily be who you are, right? So when you begin to evolve later on into a new, well, not rather new, but into who you actually are, then you will find that you're going to have to revamp, and you may end up having to rebrand into like actually who you are, which as a result will bring you new people. It's almost like you're going to be going through a rebranding phase, because your identity itself will be changing, right? It will be going to the core of who you are. You want to be your most authentic self as an artist. So you want to define your artist identity. Number two, you want to protect your music and your intellectual property, okay? These are the 10 things. This is number 2 of the 10 things every artist need to know before taking music seriously. And this is number 2 of the independent artist starter checklist. You want to protect your music and intellectual property. First of all, you want to know what intellectual property is. IP, what is that? This is very important, okay? For you to protect your music, protect your intellectual property. Your intellectual property, intellect, right? What comes from your mind? What comes from your mind? And eventually into a tangible form, in this case, in the form of your music, in the form of your lyrics, in the form of your melodies, in the form of your logo for your artist brand, in the form of your logo and the way that you brand your logo, okay? Like, all of these things are very important. Your music is an asset, okay? Copyright exists from the moment of creation, right? So basically, when you make your music, it's immediately, once it goes into tangible form, it's immediately protected. But protecting it properly, though, means registering it. There was a point in time where you had the poor man's copyright, where you could send yourself your music in the mail as long as you got that postmark from the post office. That was like a official registration stamp, right? Like, it basically marked the time in which you registered your music, and then you could use that in court. But that doesn't hold very strong today in court, from my understanding. And so, with that being said, you want to make sure that you are properly registering your music with the United States Copyright Office, and that you're doing it that way, because that gives you more leverage in court. Why is it like that? Why would they change you being able to send it through the post office, the federal office, a federal government office, and you just won't ever open it up, and that is your proof? Why they stopped that, I have no idea. To me, that's legitimate enough, right? That stops you from having to pay the extra money that it requires for you to copyright your music and things of that sort. Unfortunately, however, to really protect your music, you want to go ahead and you want to register it with the Copyright Office so that it is protected at the highest extent. I think it's baloney too. I think everything is always about how things can be profited from, right? And that is the world's economy, and that is how the world's economy works, right? So you just want to make sure that you properly register. It's just something good for you to do for yourself, should you ever have to face something like that in the future. All right. So the cost of not doing this is you could potentially have somebody steal your beats. You can have uncredited samples, people using your samples. You can lose royalties. It could be very detrimental, right? So we want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves, especially in the age of AI. We want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves. This is extremely highly important. Shout out to you guys if you're just coming in. Thank you. My name is RIMIDI. I am a music recording and performing artist. It is an honor and a pleasure to chat with you today. Today we're going over our independent artist starter checklist, and we are moving on to number 3 of 10 things every artist needs to know or needs before taking music seriously. Or if you have been doing music for a long time, just not the right way, here's the things you need to know to do it the right way. The first one is define your artist identity. Number 2 is protect your music and intellectual property. And number 3 is you want to register your songwriting and your publishing. Okay, you want to register your songs and your publishing. So you want to get with a pro. A pro is a performing rights organization like ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC. Okay, these organizations collect your performance royalties on your behalf. Okay, your song is able to collect performance royalties. Your song is able to collect mechanical royalties. As far as your performance royalties, your pros can collect that for you, but you have to register yourself with them as a writer. And once you do that, then you're able to get the money collected. They will collect on your behalf the money that is necessary for you. Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table every time your song plays, okay? Like if your song plays on the radio or on these streaming sites, or even when you perform somewhere at a reputable site that is, or a reputable venue that has registered properly with these pros, because venues that play music or stores and all this, they are supposed to register themselves with these performing rights organizations, so they have permission to play our music, my music, right? And then that way, our every time our music is performed, it could be collected as well. And so performance could be being performed on the radio, it actually just being played on the radio, it being played on streaming sites, and also you yourself actually performing the music. Okay, so you want to make sure you register that. And then also, I recommend that all artists be their own publisher. BMI has self-publishing, which means you can collect the publishing side of your song, because songs have two sides. Songs have the composer, the composition side, right? The songwriter side, and then it has the publishing side. So technically you're collecting two sides of the pie, right? So you can think of one side as 100% and the other side is 100%, or you can think of it as one side is 50% and the other side is 50%. However that works, BMI breaks it down where one side is 100%, the songwriter side is 100%, and then the publishing side is 100%, right? So if you're the songwriter, you're also the publisher, unless you are signed to another publisher who is collecting that side of the pie of your song on your behalf. But otherwise, you are the songwriter and the publisher. Therefore, on this side, when you're registered as a writer, which your pro can collect your writer side, that 100% of your song. And then should you yourself be the publisher, whether you're self-administering, like you're a self-publisher, you're self-publishing, or you have started up a publishing business, right? So that you can collect your publishing through your publishing business on the behalf of yourself. Then either way that goes, you want to definitely make sure you have it set up where you can collect both sides, right? There are other like I mentioned briefly, your mechanical royalties. Like there are other sites like the MLC, where you would register your songs also with the MLC, so the MLC could collect your mechanical royalties. You have the Harry Fox Agency, you have Sound Exchange. There's a lot of different other places where you can properly register your music so that you can collect the stream of incomes that are available to you. Okay, and also when you go through your distributor itself is also, it's not necessarily collecting performance royalties and things for you, but it's collecting the sales, the distribution from the sales distribution, however I'm trying to say it, is collecting your sales that were distributed out. Okay, that was number 4. That was number 3 of the independent artist starter checklist. Okay, the 10 things every artist needs to know before taking music seriously. Okay, what's good, Larry Mims? Rada, hi Rada, long time no see. Good to see you in here. We're here. My name is Remedy. I'm a music performing and recording artist. Today I'm going over the independent artist starter checklist live with you guys, and I am also offering 10 things every artist needs to know before taking music seriously, or when an artist wants to, move forward. They've been doing music for a minute, but they've been like not doing it the right way. Okay, so let's get into number 4. You want to definitely create an EPK, an electronic press kit. Okay, your electronic press kit, whether you use Canva, whether you put it on your own website, like mine is, I actually have 2. I have one. I have one that I actually made through Canva, and I uploaded it into my website. So the link to my EPK is actually via IamRemedy.com, but you could also make one on Canva. All right, you can make one on Canva and use the direct that Canva gives, or you can use like Hazine within Canva to create an actual EPK, and it'll give you a link inside of that to it. But I wanted mine to be, and also per the instructions of my management team, shout out to Gino Black and ML, Mr. I don't think ML like wants me to call. It's such a bad habit. But yeah, Mr. Rogers, I pretty much uploaded mine to IamRemedy.com, and so it looks more official by uploading it to my actual website. But your EPK is like your music resume. Okay, so when you go apply for jobs, you prepare a resume so that the jobs can see like all you have done. Your EPK, which also stands for electronic press kit, it is your music resume, which shows all of your accomplishments. So when you approach labels, blogs, venues, or media promoters, etc., this is what oftentimes they will ask for, or this is also what you would just go ahead and send to them so that they can see all the things that you have accomplished. All right. So inside of your electronic press kit, you'll usually have your bio, your photos, your music links, press quotes, booking contacts, how they could get in touch with you, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And without it, you got to look unprepared. So you want to definitely have these things available so that when you are, booking or you're going for interviews or any type of media coverage, blogs, etc., you have this thing. It makes you look like a professional, okay? And so get yourself an EPK if you have not done it, or maybe you have an EPK, but and I know this to be true, like you'll have an EPK, but you're so busy in your life and survival mode that you just kind of put that off to the side and you forget to update it and keep it up to date and all those things. So you want to make sure you have your EPK, but if you have one, you want to make sure that your EPK stays up to date. Just like your website should stay up to date, and that's number 5. Number 5 is building a website. As you know, I have 2 websites. I have IamRemedy.com and I have FindRemedy.com. IamRemedy.com pretty much serves as my resume. It shows you all, like, pretty much my life work, which includes my music. It includes FindYourRemedy.com, and it also includes gymculture.org, which is a youth organization in which I have founded for girls, teenage girls 13 to 18, to empower them to power the world through safe spaces and mentorship, right? So like when you go to IamRemedy.com, it takes you through, like, as a resume of like my work, and you can kind of see a little bit. My bio is on there. Let's see what is on IamRemedy.com. My bio is there. There's a link to my music. There's a link to my media. My website also kind of acts like a really big EPK, right? So like you can actually go to IamRemedy.com and it kind of serves as an EPK, but I also have a private link that you couldn't get if you go to I Am Remedy that takes you to my EPK, and that's a link that I have for anyone that I'm reaching out to or that are reaching out to me. That's in the EPK and your website, they're not the same. Sometimes people specifically ask for your EPK. They don't want your website, they want your EPK, right? But on IamRemedy.com, I have my bio, I have my music, I have a media that shows you some videos of me performing. It also shows you press, so some interviews I've done, podcast videos. I also have a link for recent writing. Is like my personal blog on Find Your Remedy. It actually links to FindYourRemedy.com, but it's on here. And then I have a calendar, which right now it has no events, but soon, very soon, that will be filling up. I'm excited about that. But I do have a calendar section, which I would highly recommend that all artists have on their website. And then I have my experiences link, which links you to FindYourRemedy.com. Then I have the charity link, which links you to gymculture.org. Then I have a connect, which you can join my mailing list there, or you can actually contact me through the website, okay? And then I have a more, because when you have these websites and you're collecting emails and all this stuff, you gotta have terms and conditions. And on the bottom, I have a privacy policy. These are like actual things you wanna make sure you have on your website. They are absolutely necessary to have, okay? So if you're just coming on in, we're talking about the 10 things an artist should know, okay, before taking music seriously, or once they decide that, man, you know what, I got to do this, I got to go in 100%. So this is the independent artist starter checklist. We talked about number 1, defining your artist identity. Number 2, protect your music and intellectual property. Number 3, register your songwriting and publishing. Number 4, create an EPK, aka electronic press kit. That's what we were talking about prior to number 5, which is building your website, okay? It is your home base. It is your home base. It is where you will have your music, your merch, your tour dates, your email sign up. Every platform should drive traffic back to your website. So in this case, everything should be driving back for me to IamRemedy.com. This is important. You guys got to have a website because your social media platforms can ban or shadow ban you, okay? The website is the one thing you own. You do not own Instagram. You don't own Facebook. Okay, you might have some ownership in it if you're into stocks and things of that sort, but even then, your percentage may be incredibly small, and you still don't own it to the point where you can control what is happening with these spaces, unless you decide to own it at that level, right? But otherwise, you have no say in what's actually happening here. So in other words, if Facebook decides to go out of business, sell their business to somebody else, or if Facebook just decides, hey, I just want to erase all your followers, or I no longer want you to be able to see all your followers, or I don't want your followers to be able to see you, you lose touch with your community. Okay, and this is why the next point is important. Number 6, building an email list. Building an email list. Okay, 1,000 emails beats 10,000 followers every time. Emails is direct, no algorithm, no pay to play. The fans on your list actually want to hear from you. Start building it on day one, starting now. If you have no email list, you want to go ahead and start that today. Okay, there are ways to have an email list for free. You could go to gumroad.com and create a free account. Okay, and inside of gumroad.com, they have a link that you can use so that you can build your website. Because maybe right now your funds are low, maybe you have no funds to allocate. That's a better way to say it. You have no funds to allocate towards you getting a website. So you find other tools and resources, right? And one of those resources is gumroad.com, which will allow you to collect emails. I'm not sure if like beacons.ai or Stand Store and all of them do that, but I know for a fact Gumroad allows you to create an email list, and then you can go ahead and put that in your bio, and that could be for now like a link where you can collect your emails in the meantime, right? Until you're able to get one. You can also probably set up like a free, what do you call that? I forget what you call the list. Darn it, I can't forget that site. I want to say Wix so bad, but it's not Wix. And then I just heard Wikipedia. Lord have mercy. One of those free websites, I can't think of. It's WordPress. WordPress. I think WordPress might have free websites. Find yourself a free website. Put a link on there until you can. Of course, it looks more professional when you own your domain and or control your domain rather, and you are able to have it be, whatever your artistname.com. That looks a lot more professional, but sometimes we got to work with what we got until we can get to where we're going. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next thing on this independent artist starter checklist, 10 things every artist needs to know before taking music seriously. We are on number 7, which is create a content system. Okay, posting randomly doesn't build an audience, consistency does. And I know that this can be uncomfortable. Like we all have like our reasons for just being scared or just not organized, and we all have our reasons for why we may not be having like a proper content system. But let me tell you, consistency is everything. That's one thing that I'm constantly getting a download about from the Most High God, that consistency is important. Okay, you got to be consistent. You got to figure out a schedule of how you're going to be visible. Okay, a content system is a plan. What you post, where you post, and how often, that is a plan. Okay, and one thing that I'll be honest, I have found myself challenged with at times is batching. But batching the content, meaning doing quite a few content at one time, right? Maybe enough for a week, maybe enough for 2 weeks, maybe enough for a month. But you got to pick a set day where you decide, okay, every Tuesday I'm going to create content, and then I'm going to schedule it out. That's batching. I'm going to schedule it out for the next week, or I'm gonna schedule out for the next 2 weeks, or I once a month, on this day, the last Thursday of the month, I create content, I batch it out, and I schedule it to go out for the entire month. Whatever it is, whatever your rhythm, you have to find your rhythm, but whatever your rhythm is, you have to stay consistent. But I am one to admit that in finding your rhythm, sometimes it does change. I'm gonna be honest about that. Some people may not be honest about that, right? Some people might be even better at like overpassing the whole like, okay, I just do what it needs to be done. Some people are really good at discipline, right? But some of us, we might have to be a little fluid and find our groove until we find what actually works, especially when you're coming out of systems that, are a lot different than what you were doing before. Like when you go and work for someone, there's structure, there's years built there where there's structure there already, and you just kind of follow the plan of what they already have, even if it's a skeleton and you filling it in, but it's still like structure there. And then when you start working for yourself, you have to figure out your structure. You have to figure out what is your system. And so in this case, and I said content, create a content system, but honestly, you really need to be able to create a system in general that you're going to show up to, that you're going to commit to, and that you're going to show up to. In this case, you want to commit to creating a content system because, I mean, yeah, a lot of us, I know, we don't want to make content. Like, it's like, why? Like, back in the day, you didn't have to do this. You get out on the ground and it's grassroots, and, you go perform and all this stuff, and make flyers, and I'll be honest, that felt like it was much easier. I mastered that. I had that on game. You feel me? Like that was really easy and fun for me. And sometimes creating content is not always fun, but it is kind of part of the territory. So until you can find something different or build your audience to the point where you got that email list, you got them going to your website, you got them wanting to go where you are to find you. Until you get to that point, you got to do what you have to do, okay? And so batch your content, schedule out your content, and then stay visible without burning out. And that comes from you creating a content system and a system in general, okay? We're going to move on to number 8. Number 8 of the Independent Artist Starter Checklist, the 10 things every artist needs to know or needs before taking music seriously or deciding that they are, they've been doing this music thing for a long time, they want to do it right, is build your team. This is I have to say, by far, this is one of my favorite ones on this list. All of them are incredibly important, but I'll have to say that this one is very important to me. And it's important to me because your team, having a team is so important. And I've heard throughout my years of being in this career of like people saying like, you don't need a manager until you have something to manage. And I mean, yeah, I do connect and understand what is being said there, but I feel like you could have a manager from day one, someone who believes in you. It's like having a business partner, you know what I'm saying? So are you telling me because I'm in business I can't have a business partner? You feel me? Like, make it make sense. Like, a team is important. Having a team is important. Having somebody who believes in you and want to see you do what you say, they're invested in what you're saying, the vision that you have, that you've received from the Most High God. Like, it's beautiful to be able to have another person help you. They say when two or more agrees, then it will manifest itself. It will happen. And not only that, you know what I'm saying? You can't do everything by yourself. You can. Okay, being a manager, being your own publicist, being your own booking agent, being your own producer, being your own graphic designer. I mean, and I know of like different producers and artists who take pride in that. Like, they rave about that. But and shoot, like, even me, I'm thankful that a lot of those things I can do myself. I could definitely be my own manager. I could definitely be my own publicist. I have definitely been my own manager and publicist. I have definitely been my own booking agent. I have definitely been my own graphic designer. I'm still my own graphic designer today. I still create today, right? But why, when I can delegate some of these tasks out to other people to do these things for me? So it's important to get a team. Finding somebody who believes in you, who can serve as your manager, aka your business partner, right? And y'all do an agreement where they get 15%, 20% of what you gross, right? But they really believe in you, and they believe in themselves to be able to push you forward. And y'all go and y'all do that together. You know what I'm saying? You should start off at a standard 15%. And they get 15% of it. But get somebody who is just down for the cause, because maybe in the beginning you may not profit as much in the beginning or at all in the beginning, So it got to be somebody who can withstand that. If you look it up, there are different artists that like had like a cousin or an aunt or a dad or a mom or a really good friend who became their manager, who in the beginning they weren't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? But they believed wholeheartedly in what that person was doing, what that artist was doing, that they stood with them through all of it. And today they're some of the biggest artists. I feel like J. Cole is one of those people who, friend was his man. I can't remember. I don't want to call out names like that. You know what I'm saying? But you can just look that up. Google artists that had managers who were their friends or family members in the beginning, and look them up, and you will see a lot of these really major artists at one point they were you. You know what I'm saying? They were you and I. They were grassroots. They had their people who just believed in them. You know what I'm saying? And then also you can look at resources like Fiverr and I forget the other one, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the one that comes to mind. And like, you can pay people to do certain things. So you can take some things off your plate. You can pay, like I heard the lady yesterday, the day before yesterday on the call saying that she wanted to pay somebody to edit because she didn't want to edit. I mean, hey, if that's what you feel like you want to do, that's how you want to use your resources, then you do that, right? Like that takes one thing off your plate. So you can focus on actually just showing up, right, and letting someone else edit. You can create the content, like you can actually record the content and then they can create it for you in a form where they edit it out and then give it back to you, and all you got to do is post it, or you can even pay people to post it for you. You know what I'm saying? You can find yourself a booking agent to book these shows for you. You can find yourself a publicist, like, you know, all these things. Of course, sometimes having leverage, having followers and all that stuff does help. But then there are people in this world who work on a different economy who are more than happy to help you with what you're building. So I want you to just keep these things in mind. Having a team is incredibly essential. I'm going to always stand by that. That's what I believe. Okay, we're going to move on from that, but just know that you don't have to have all these things on day one, but you do need a plan for who's in your corner, because you're going to have a team. The artist has to have a team. All right, you can look that up, Google who are the different people that are in the artist team, you know, and then start preparing for those people that you're going to have either now or in the very near future. Okay, know your gaps and start filling them, okay, in the best way possible. Especially look at your weaknesses. What is it that is very time consuming and it's taking a lot of energy from you? Okay, look at those things. Hold on one second, y'all. I apologize. Pardon me for that. Okay, so that was number 8 of the of the independent artist starter checklist, and that was number 8 of the 10 things every artist needs before taking music seriously. We talked about number 1, defining your artist identity. Number 2, protect your music and intellectual property. Number 3, register your songwriting and publishing. Number 4, create an EPK, electronic press kit. That's what EPK stands for. Number 5, build a website. Number 6, build an email list. Number 7, create a content system or a system really altogether. And number 8, build your team. Okay, I'm RIMIDI, music recording and performing artist, and I'm providing you with 10 things every artist needs to know before taking music seriously, or once they decide, yo, I've been doing this for a long time, it's time for me to like really get my house in order. Okay, so number 9 is you want to develop a live performance strategy. Okay, you want to have a live performance strategy. Okay, performing live is how you build real fans and real income. It's so funny because for a while you really weren't seeing me perform. You weren't seeing my music because also, like a lot of artists, you know, I just really didn't get it. That's one. And 2, I was wearing a lot of hats. Okay, that's why that team is important. I was wearing a lot of hats, and I was also just really focused on showing up to my life and in survival mode. And so I also kind of lost my identity and all that. So showing up as a music artist, showing up as a teacher, showing up as a philosopher, showing up as a guru, showing up because I am overly gifted. Okay, I have an overflow of gifts. So much sometimes to the point where I am like, I'm not sure what exactly I should be focusing on at this time. You feel me? So it's like these things are very important to note. All right. I'm thinking that I may go live at a different time. I'm going live at 1, but I may move this to like an evening time. Like I don't know. We'll see. But right now, this is Global Thursdays, and Global Thursday is every Thursday at 1 p.m. I would like some feedback on that, y'all, because I know a lot of y'all are at work. And I want to make sure that you're getting this information live so that you can ask questions and I can answer your questions, because this is interactive. It's intended to be interactive so that we can connect with one another, because I also too can learn from you, but definitely want to make sure that I'm able to give you this value. But of course, this live will be available later and you guys will be able to watch it. But I just want to get some feedback from you. So as you're watching this, let me know what you're thinking. When is your best time to get information like this and to be able to receive it in a place where you're settled and you're sitting still? All right, guys. So number 9 of the independent artist starter checklist, again, is develop a live performance strategy. Performing live is how you build real fans and real income, but it takes strategy. Okay, you gotta have a set list. You gotta prepare yourself a set list. Set list is like the songs, a list of the songs that you're gonna be singing in your set, in your time slot. Okay, all right, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, 40 minutes, you wanna make sure you have a list of your songs, okay, that you're going to be performing, and you want to make sure that you're ready to perform those songs, that you are show ready to perform those songs. You also want to work on your stage presence, okay? How you are on stage, how you're showing up on stage. Make sure that you're confident on stage. And one thing I know for sure, and I'm going to make sure today that I get some practice in, like, the one word that I'm constantly getting from the Most High God is you got to be consistent and you got to practice. Practice is key. Doing things over and over, repetition. Okay, that's the exact word I heard, and practice. But repetition, doing things over and over and over and over. That's how you get good at what you're doing. That's how you go from. I'm not saying that you won't be nervous, but that's how you go from like being so deadly afraid to feeling confident because you've done it so many times. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people all the time, like, I get nervous only when I haven't been doing it. But when I've been doing it, I'm confident. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident in my art. I'm confident in my craft. I'm very confident about how my ability to show up. Okay, so running your own shows too, that's something you can do. I definitely, myself personally, I created a space, Find Your Remedy, which I didn't elaborate earlier, but Find Your Remedy is a space that I have envisioned, I have been given the vision of creating this space for creatives like myself to be able to have access to resources and information. It's a collaborative space, grounded in music, education, technology, and just overall exchange of information. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great space, but also it's, of course, God is embedded in everything that I do. So it's also a space that's safe for that, right? And so in that space, I have created that. So I have also for myself an opportunity to create experiences for me to perform, while also inviting other artists to collaborate with me on that experience, as a partner within it, or as simply participating, as an artist participating in it. But either way it goes, you want to be able to create opportunities for yourself to perform by running your own shows. Okay, you don't have to, but I found that to be an asset. Okay, a great live show turns a casual listener into a loyal fan for life. So when we were talking about creating a content system, it's not only about your performance strategy of like just getting booked and running your own shows and your set list and your stage presence, but also creating content where people see that you are who you say you are. If you are an artist, people should see you being an artist. If you're a singer, they should see you singing. They should see you doing what you say you do. You're a songwriter, they should see you writing songs. So you want to also make sure that you're showing up alive. That should be also a part of your live performance strategy. And last but not least, number 10 of the independent artist starter checklist is making sure that you create multiple income streams. We kind of talked about this a bit when we were talking. See you later, my love. Have a good day. When we were talking about protecting your music, number 2, and intellectual property, but also registering your song and registering your songs for as a songwriter and as a publisher. These things help you to create multiple income streams. Streaming alone is not going to pay your bills. I feel like artists should think of streaming like radio, like it's like free advertisement. It's not necessarily free per se, but you know what I mean. Like it is advertisement. You gotta look at that as a advertising bill. Okay, and it's something that you are using as a part of your strategy to be able to get it in front of people. When you get to the point where you have trillions of listeners, listening to you, and then that is when you can see some real substantial money from your streams. However, the objective is not necessarily to be famous. The objective, and that could be your objective, but I think the core of your objective should be to be able to make money from your music and live off of your music and have multiple income streams from your music so that you can live the life that you like to live. And there, your music can create multiple streams of income, right? So, but you got to have number 3 and number 4 done properly so that you can do that. Okay, so I need you to think sync licensing, music placements, merch, live shows, teaching, brand deals, Patreon, etc. The artists who last long term are the ones who diversify early, right? This is what is the missing step for artists like myself and you, right? We have to, it would behoove us to move like a business, right, versus as an artist who has no understanding of the business itself. Your music is a business, and you have to treat your music like it's a business. Okay, so that what I just shared with you all was the independent artist starter checklist, and it was 10 things every artist needs before taking music seriously. Okay, and I really hope that you all did enjoy that, because that is something that you can use and take for your advantage, right? So now I want to pause for a second, because we went through all 10 of these things, and I know some of you are sitting there thinking like, I need all of this done, but I don't even know where to start. And I hear you about that, okay? Even though I'm gonna be honest, I just gave you everything. I gave you everything. You can use Google, and you could use ChatGPT tools and all this stuff to do it for you, to help even break it down even more. If you are like, I'm not sure. Still, even though she gave me the 10 item breakdown of the 10 things every artist needs before taking music seriously, but I'm not sure. I still feel like I'm not really sure, and that's okay. Like I want a little bit more help. Okay, that's actually why I put together something for today only, right? So it's for the next 10 artists, and that means the next 10 artists that hit me up, period. Okay, so you could be watching this at 8 o'clock tonight, okay, Eastern Standard Time. And you are my artist number 4. You are the artist number 10. The last person of number 10 who hit me up, that's when it's done. Okay. But I put something together for the next 10 artists, and I mean literally 10 artists, because I can only take on that many. I'm offering a done for you package. Everything on that checklist, I can handle it for you. I can help you out and work with you, and that package would be valued at about 2,500 or more, right? If that package is valued at bare minimum 2,500, it could be way more than that, okay? But today I'm going to offer it for $500. That's it. 10 spots only, first come, first served. And if that's you, I want you to go ahead and I want you to send me a message, and I want you to tell me that you're ready. I want you to send me a message saying ready in my DM. You can put it down below in the comments if you want to, but I want you to send me a DM that says ready, and I'll send you all the details that you need to know so that we can get you started. If you're watching on YouTube, you could go ahead and let me see, go to the website IamRimidi.com, because I think you could write ready, but I'm not sure on YouTube if I could write you a message. In fact, actually, yes, you can. I can write you a message, but still write ready, and then I'll reply to you and tell you the steps on how we can move forward. So everybody, you're just gonna write ready, okay? You can write it in the comments, or you can send me a DM. If you send me a DM, I know for a fact that you're ready, because you took an extra step to make sure that you get this done for you, okay? But I want you to definitely, if this is something you're interested in, you're going to go ahead and contact me. But what I really wanted to do is just make sure you all know that this is something that you can do for yourself. All right. You can do this for yourself. you don't need me to do this, okay? I could coach you through this process as well, okay? If you feel like you could do it for yourself, but you want some coaching, I can also coach you. That is not a problem. We can do consultation. All right. So, like I said, I promise you guys at the start of this, I committed to something at the start of this that was very special. And I believe that is special. And that is my word. And that's what I've offered you, that done for you package, where I take that entire checklist off your plate and I build it out for you. Your EPK, your website setup, your publishing registration, your content system framework, all of it. Now, I want to make it clear though, like your website, you're gonna have to pay for your own hosting, and that's not through me. That's through the website company in which you pay the hosting from. You're gonna need a domain. That's not me. That's separate. You're gonna have to have a domain. You may already have a domain, and that's great. You may already have a hosting site. That's great, right? If you do not have publishing yet, with like for instance, let's say you have not. Let's say you want to start a publishing company. You're gonna have to pay to start your company with it, but I will take you through all the steps. I'm charging you to do the work, but there may be some additional fees that are required to set this stuff up for you, okay? So again, I can do all these things for you. I set all these things up for you. I could get you ready, and it would be normally I would like when I looked at this, I'm like, no, this is at bare minimum. This is valued at about $2,500. Okay, but today I'm only gonna do it for $500. 10 spots only. Once they're gone, and this price is gone with it. Okay. Again, my name is Remedy. What's up, Roy? What's up, Roy? Long time no see. How you doing? Oh my God. What's up, y'all? How are y'all? Good to see you. Okay. This is for the music artists. This is for those singers and songwriters specifically, because not all music artists are songwriters, okay, or composers. So this is really for those who are singer songwriters. However, I can still do it for you if you are a music artist and you are, you still, there are things on this list that you want to have set up. We can talk about that. You just let me know, okay, what you're looking for, and I'll let you know. But otherwise, I can do that for you. I'm Remedy. I'm a music recording and performing artist. I have been doing music for a very long time. I've made a lot of mistakes. But the beauty of those mistakes is it has taught me, it has brought me where I am today to be able to know what is necessary in order for you to have a sustainable music career. Okay. And again, it's not about being the famous person. It's about being able to sustain yourself from your music, because you can. Okay, that was option one. I do it all for you. It's done for you. Option one, today only $500, 10 spots only. You decide that you want to message me at 8 o'clock tonight, 10 o'clock tonight. As long as you are in that number, you are good to go. Just send me a message saying ready. Option two is that it can be done with you. Okay, if you want to stay in the driver's seat, I know me personally, I like to be in control. I like to be hands-on and everything. So me personally, I would always probably do it done with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. That's just me. I like to be able to be in control of what's happening and have my eyes and ears and what's going on. So if you are like me and you want it done with you and you want to stay in the driver's seat, but once you have your eyes on everything, we'll do it together through a consultation. And that's normally 500, but today I'll do it for 250. I'll walk you through your specific situation and help you build this out step by step. Okay, I hope you get this step by step. To claim either one, drop your email in the comments or DM me right now. Okay, let me know that you are ready by saying ready. Okay, if you are ready to do the done for you, write ready. If you are ready to do the done with you, write starter. Tell every artist that you know. Okay, tell everybody that every artist you know, specifically those who are songwriters and composers, let them know ASAP. I mean that. Tag someone in the comment who needs to see this. Let them know this is for the first 10 spots only at this rate. Okay, go ahead, let them know this live, these prices, this checklist is all here right now for you and for all of your artists, friends, family members, co-workers, etc. Take advantage of it. I'd rather see you win then leave here the same way you came in, okay? So it's 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time. Thank you so much for being here. This was such a great live. Like, this is great. I'm really excited for those of you who did take a moment and you watched this live. Shout out to you, like, for real, for real. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you being here. The checklist will be posted on my page, complimentary to y'all. I'm gonna make sure it's in the bio. It's available to you. I'll even see if I can get it on the website. I'll let y'all know. I go live every Thursday. But I think, man, I'm feeling like I want to go live every day. But for sure, every Thursday for Global Thursdays, I am live. Okay, I am live. I want to get over here at TikTok, so I'm going to go and see if I can go and go live on TikTok today and talk about this. But definitely, guys, I will provide this checklist for you, complimentary, at no cost to you. The only cost it is for you to download it, and provide me with your email. Provide me with your email and possibly your phone number. But other than that, that's it. Like, take this information. Some of you can do this yourself. You feel me? I did it myself, so you could do it yourself. But sometimes, it's we might have a lot going on in our minds. We might have a lot going on in our world. And I also talked to you earlier about delegation, right? So delegation is important. Maybe you just want someone else to do it for you so you can focus on other things. But I will say for you, you should know what is necessary, what other members of your team are doing. That is important, what they're doing. That's so important to know what they're doing. And just being the head of your organization and just having a little knowledge of what's happening. And that checklist provides that for you. So again, I'll post that checklist on my page and in my stories after this call, completely free and complimentary to you. Share this with every independent artist in your circle, particularly those who are singers and songwriters, songwriters and composers. You do not know who might need this information today. I'll see you guys soon. Go make something great. God bless you. 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 And stay strong. I know this is a very interesting season, guys, but we're going to get through this. Take the tools that are available to you and make it happen. Have a wonderful day, my loves. And I will talk to you soon.